It's on.
It is so on.
Pull up a chair, grab a cold one, smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's time for the Fan Happy Hour. On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080. The Fan. Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
Hey, happy hump day, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate your listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a little hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers.
I was going to do a different one today, but it's okay.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing.
You can do your own.
You're good.
You're on YouTube as well, Mr. Russ, so do what you like.
I'm frisky today.
Yes, well, I don't know if that's the right word. Bitchy today might be the better word.
Ouch. Okay.
I'm sorry, you're not?
Probably.
Okay, thank you. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat if you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM on 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or through a smart speaker. Use the fan text line 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. What is the most pain or the worst injury you've ever inflicted upon someone else? I hurt myself a lot over time.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what our listeners have done to others. Mr. Rust, what's the worst pain, the worst injury, the biggest gash you've ever put in the head of someone you know, love, or were competing against on some battlefield of competition?
Ooh, I got one. I think I got one. Just sprung in my head.
Cool.
I think it was 9th grade soccer.
All right.
Which for me, freshman year, but we were, but we were junior high. We were not high school yet.
I
right?
also lived in the junior high era, so I'm familiar.
Yes. So I played in 9th grade. I was on our 9th grade soccer team. Coached by Jim Leakus. He was a fantastic individual. Love you, Jim, if you're out there. Holly Leakus and the Coyotes, all of you. You anyway. This is all Whitford and Beaverton High School stuff.
All right. Sounds like you're speaking in code.
Anyway, but yes, there was one game where, and I did score. I scored one goal.
Congratulations.
My freshman season,
and it killed someone.
No, it did not. This is a separate incident. That at one point we were going up for, it was kind of a live ball, right?
Yep.
And somebody came in and kicked right like in the side of my thigh. And I did not take it well, and everybody on the sideline could hear me yell, trying to find a good way to put this, GD, you darn SOB.
Sure.
Yes. Everybody heard it.
Okay.
And from my 14-year-old mouth.
So this is you
field.
being injured, or you inflicting pain upon others?
No, he kicked me in like the side of my thigh, and I was like, GD, you gall darn SOB.
Well, I think you missed the point of the question.
Well,
this
anyway.
is us hurting other people.
I get it, but that was the first thing that popped into my head.
Okay, well, it was incorrect.
Congratulations. I don't hurt people, Luke.
Okay, well, listen.
I don't hurt people.
Throughout your life, you get in these moments. When I was very young, I hit my sister in the face with a shovel, totally on accident. We were probably 3, 4, 5 years old, and she was standing on the other side of a shovel. I'm holding the very top of the handle. It springs out of the hole, hits her just below the eye.
Did you whack your sister in the face with a shovel?
Yeah, I just said that. That's exactly what I just said.
That's awful, Luke.
I didn't do it intentionally.
Is
My brother sent a kid to the hospital playing baseball. He beamed him in the arm. Mm-hmm. He was like 9 years old or 7 years old or something. They were first year of kid pitch, beating this kid in the arm. He never pitched again that I know of. I knocked a kid out of a football game. I don't know how bad the injury was, but I know he never lined up across me. I was playing cornerback in a game against Hudson Bay High School. Okay. My sophomore year, so would have been, 1996, I guess. Yeah, that sounds about right. So he goes up.
96, boy, I was already in college.
He jumps up to catch a pass in front of me, and I hit him low, so he did a complete flip, landed on his head, and did not catch the ball, which was my job. He did not return to the game. I don't know how bad he was injured in that one. I'm trying to think if there's
See, we had
Another one. I ran over a friend with a golf cart, but he didn't get hurt at all. I literally drove over the top of him, but he got up and he wanted to fight.
he's like, I'm good.
And then he's like, wait, how am I not hurt?
Just gonna rub some dirt on it.
The thing that stopped the fight was he was so surprised that he wasn't hurt. I also may have tried to kill my brother in a separate golf cart incident. We had gas-powered golf carts in Alaska, so I've inflicted pain upon others.
Is this what happens north of the Columbia?
It just happens to people. The reason that I bring this up is, are you familiar with Jennifer Garner?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
I am familiar with Jennifer Garner.
Would you like to be more familiar with him?
Well,
she was in a movie
My
called...
wife might be listening, so no.
Sure. She was in a movie called The Kingdom. This was a film released in 2007. She's doing a press tour for some new TV show.
Yeah, and
that
probably
she's
some
doing.
Capital One cards.
Well, this is more back to where she started. Remember, she was in Alias. And
Yeah.
she was a butt kick.
Oh, trust me.
butt-kicking
Me and my
double
wife
agent.
and my brother and his ex-wife, we are all very familiar with Alias.
Okay.
Anyway,
So, anyways, her new
discussion for another day.
project has her fighting again, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
This 2007 project, The Kingdom, this was a Jamie Foxx, Jason Bateman movie.
Okay.
She was fighting in this, and during her press tour, she reported that in 2007, she accidentally bit a chunk off of a stuntman's ear, very much like Mike Tyson.
Spinal.
If I could give you the option to have part of your ear bitten off, would you rather it be Jennifer Garner or Mike Tyson?
I'm
I
gonna
would
go
take
Jennifer Garner.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I will take Sydney Bristow every day of the week.
Yeah.
But that's why I bring it up. So I just want to see if you've ever inflicted pain intentionally or unintentional on somebody that ended up being a little more severe than you planned. So send those into the fan text line. Hit us up on the YouTube chats.
We did have a sixth grade or so. We had to call 911.
Yeah.
Not me. I didn't call it because I was incapable of doing it, but the neighbors called. We got my brother and I. We got upset over like whose turn it was on the Super Mario and whatnot on the Nintendo, and so
Yeah.
he jumped on my back and basically choked me out,
Yeah.
and I was hyperventilating.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he
So
didn't.
Why are you the victim in all of these?
What I'm saying
have you
is-
never been the enforcer?
No, I'm
Oh.
not the enforcer. I'm a peaceful
Apparently.
leftist,
Wow.
Luke. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, so he didn't know what to do. He ran to the neighbors next door, and they were like, "You got to call 911," and they did. And anyway, I was hyperventilating. On
Well,
the floor.
before we get into the main thing that I want to talk about to start this show, I need to let you know about the Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show. It's called
Ooh, please
The
do.
Big One. It is presented by Loophole. It returns to the Portland Expo Center Wednesday, February 11th through Sunday, the 15th at the Expo Center. Enter to win a family 4-pack of tickets right now at 1051thefan.com. Do that now. But before we get into anything else in this show, we need to talk about Lindsey Vonn. I've put it into several of the little jokes that we do and maybe in the Daily Buzz.
yeah,
She is planning to participate in the Olympic downhill with a torn meniscus, a torn LCL, a torn ACL, a tibula plateau fracture, and.
yeah.
She would have been in a training run today, but there was too much snow that fell.
I'm not sure you can find a bigger badass.
And why does she feel so confident that she can ski on a torn ACL?
Because she's probably done it before.
Because she's done it before. The doctor said, the doctor that they interviewed, this is in a USA Today article that I'm reading from, said that he's fairly confident that she can do it because she's done it before. She'll have an external brace on that will eliminate it from going because she's so athletic. It shouldn't be a problem. But here's what he said. This is a woman that will be traveling down a mountain at 70 miles an hour.
Plus,
I want to read you this little nugget where he said, it's just so stupid. The way she'll know is after she hits the first jump.
oh geez.
She'll be traveling down this mountain faster than I drive my car most days.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she'll know if she's good is when she launches off the side of the mountain, floats freely in the air for a moment, and then has to land her broken leg back down on the mountain.
For the first time in the Olympics.
I might not watch the Super Bowl if her race is at the same time.
Look, okay, so
It's insane.
here's the thing. Worst decision, her trying to do this or dating Tiger Woods.
I don't think this is a bad decision. We know that was a bad decision. We have evidence that this has worked out for her in the past, which is insane. Do you know why she retired from skiing?
Oh, by the way, she's also 41 years old now.
Do you know why she retired from skiing in 2019?
Probably because of stuff like this.
She was in physical pain that would not subside. So then she went and got a partial knee replacement in her right knee because it was the source of the pain. And then she went, I feel pretty good. She got back to number 1 in the world going into these Olympics. Do you think tearing her ACL and breaking her leg is going to stop her? Well, I'm here to tell you it will not.
And so you said 2019 that happened.
Yes.
Here we are 16 years later.
Really? Do that math one
Nope,
more time.
6 years later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
All right. Let's bookmark this for the stupid stuff that we said next week on Monday.
You go ahead and put a big star on your show sheet there.
All right. There we
right
go.
now, we will do some in case you missed it. In case you missed it, Carlos Beltran announced that his Hall of Fame plaque will feature him wearing a hat of the New York Mets. In 839 games with the Mets, he hit .280 with 149 home runs and 559 RBIs, but that's not why he's taking the amazing Mets. He said his greatest individual growth in his life happened when he was in Queens, and he never cheated, as far as you know, when he was with the Mets. So seems like a good choice over the Astros.
Astros, great.
That.
Carlos Beltran.
That's right. In case you missed it, rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders threw 2 interceptions during the Pro Bowl
I did miss it. I missed every
game.
damn bit of that thing last night.
During the Pro Bowl flag football game last night, and predictably, the internet is losing their minds. But I'm here to tell you, I do not get the hate. People are acting like he's a total bum, but if you actually watch the game, you would know that one of those picks would have been a touchdown if not for the penalty. So maybe...
Did you actually watch any of that?
No, I didn't watch any of that. What am I, stupid? During the Pro Bowl press conferences, Joe Burrow shut down the trade rumors today, affirming that he is happy in Cincinnati despite a disappointing season, a disappointing defense, a disappointing owner, Cincinnati's disappointing weather, Cincinnati's disappointing history of being accidentally colonized by thousands of Italian lizards because some kid in the 1950s smuggled them into the city inside of their socks, and their disappointing chili. So there is a lot of things. That is a true story. A kid came back from Italy with 10 little lizards in his pockets, and it turned into thousands and thousands because the climate was just perfect for them to reproduce.
Isn't that like the rabbits in Australia or something?
I don't think a kid smuggled them in his socks into Australia,
Probably
but
not,
either
but,
way.
yeah.
An invasive species
Yes.
back in the 50s. That's a true story.
And plus, Skyline chili sucks because that's way too much cheese.
That was a joke. Well,
I get it. I understand, but it's just
got
way too much
spaghetti
cheese.
noodles. All right. In case you missed it, the 150th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. I think I did that wrong. Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show
Rest in
was
peace, Catherine O'Hara.
amen to that. Was an all-time classic. The canine version of 28-3. Penny the Doberman Pinscher was trailing by what seemed like an insurmountable deficit, but then went full Tom Brady. The Poodle and the French Bulldog got cocky, started thinking that about their post-game treats, and before you knew it, Penny dominated the butt-sniffing portion of the show and completed a comeback for the ages. Absolutely legendary. No, did you not watch that either?
No, I'm lost. What is happening? My head hurts.
But I like that joke. In case you missed it, the Puppy Bowl number 22 will feature a halftime show between Team Oldies and Team Goldies to promote senior dog adoption. There will be 150 dogs.
Oh, God, did Kurt
from
Herb Street get involved in this?
72 shelters will be participating. Last year's event, so this plays at the same time as the Super Bowl. Last year's event drew 12.8 million viewers. Senior dogs are being highlighted because they are often overlooked in shelters. You know the Super Bowl is a big deal when its canine counterpart programming has more viewers than most NBA Finals games. That is not an exaggeration.
Adopt, don't shop.
That's right.
There we go.
And finally, in case you missed it, today is day one of the 2026 Winter Olympic Games. It is officially underway. But the big highlight...
We had curling today.
The big highlight, though, was a power outage at the curling center in Cortina. The lights flickered and went out in the middle of mixed doubles competition. It's a funny story now because it's just a minor delay and nobody got hurt. But could you imagine if the lights went out during a real sport? Picture this. In curling, the worst case scenario is somebody accidentally scuffs their sensible shoes with one of those broom things. Lights go out during a speed skating event and somebody misses a turn and flies into the stands. They kill at least a dozen people. Am I right about that? And the really sad part is it's mostly...
Ted Cruz goes to Cancun.
And the worst part is it's probably friends and family because those are the only people that watch speed skating live. So that's...
Bonnie Blair and Paulo Anton.
Dan Jansen? Is that a guy?
I don't think he was a speed skater.
Ooh, check that.
I could be wrong.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, if I'm incorrect, somebody will probably let us know. But
Somebody will let us know.
I'm going to say it's Dan Jansen. Thank you to our wonderful studio audience. At 2:30, we have a segment we call a subtext. We'll try to read the minds of the press conferences at Radio Row for the Super Bowl and see what coaches and players were really saying. But as we do every day at 2:15, we will get to the Daily Buzz. We do it next. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
Headlines, trending topics, and trivial matters that got our attention. It's the Daily Buzz on the Fan Happy Hour.
The Buzz.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
All right, let's try to keep track of everything that's going on in the NBA going into the trade deadline. What time tomorrow do they wrap that whole thing up?
Oh, darn it. You're putting me on the spot.
It's all right. It's
I
sometime
want to say
tomorrow.
it's probably around like 1-ish.
There's a whole lot going on. The Hawks acquire Landale from the Jazz. Jock Landale. Does that do anything for you?
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball goes to the Utah Jazz from the Cavs. Chris Paul to the Raptors in a 3-team deal. So
he won't stay
Ochai
there.
Agbaji is going to the Brooklyn
Gesundheit.
Nets. Thank you very much. The Clippers get the draft rights to Vanja Markovic, and the Raptors get Chris Paul. The Hornets and Bulls are swapping Colin Sexton to the Bulls, and Mike Conley is going to the Hornets. They've already moved once, so that is a little bit bizarre. The Oklahoma City Thunder have picked up Mason Plumlee. They also have Jared.
There's still a Plum Dog millionaire out there.
Yeah, apparently he was waived, and so now he is going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder also get guard Jared McCain from the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers are going to get a 2026 first-round pick from Houston, a 2027 second-round pick, the most favorable of OKC, Houston, Indiana, and Miami, and 2 28 second-round picks. Who cares? The Mavericks are sending Anthony Davis to the Wizards, along with Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell.
Purgatory.
Well, D'Angelo Russell, he's just a trade piece at this point, and Dante Exum are all going to Washington.
Dante Exum is still a thing, huh?
Yeah, well, this is funny because we did this fun little exercise when the Blazers were going to be playing against the Wizards. I asked you to name any Wizards that you could.
And I could not.
But then you looked up some names, all of those names now going to the Mavericks. Chris Middleton, A.J.
Bilal
Johnson.
Coulibaly?
Malachi Barnum and Marvin Bagley III. The Mavericks will also get a 2026 first-round pick from OKC, a 2030 first-round pick, second-round picks in 26, 27, and 29.
Right,
so all that trade capital OKC is kind of
Good job, Nico.
I'm sorry, that the Wizards are getting, they're kind of tossing back to the Mavericks. So now the Anthony Davis-Luka trade has become Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Barnum, and Marvin Bagley III, plus a whole bunch of pick assets. So there you have that.
And apropos of nothing, the trade deadline is at noon Pacific time.
So we'll be able to
tomorrow.
wrap everything up tomorrow. The only
So
one
we will have a full probably hour tomorrow on the firm.
The only
Harris and
two,
Meringue.
the only two I don't think we got to yesterday. Darius Garland is going to the Clippers, and James Harden is going to the Cavaliers.
Yeah, that happened last night.
It did. The Cavaliers were not on the bingo card. Apparently, James Harden, who had a no-trade clause, was looking at Minnesota or Atlanta, but found out that they have strip clubs in Cleveland too, and now will be going to the Cavaliers.
Well, and then James Harden figured out that he doesn't really have that kind of power anymore to dictate where he wants to go.
I think Cleveland's a pretty good landing spot. I mean, Cleveland's, fifth in the East right now? They were a deep playoff run last year, so trying to make moves, doing something. The other one is
yes, Cleveland fifth.
Nikola Vucevic.
Tied for fourth, actually.
Vucevic is
Vucevic.
Nikola Vucevic is going to the Boston Celtics in exchange for Anthony Simons. They're also swapping second-round picks. So the Bulls getting Anthony Simons. So he did not leave the Blazers and turn into superstar on his first stop, but we'll see what he does in his second.
It's a good thing that he got hung on to here for so long.
How do we do? I think we did all right with that.
Yeah,
so
okay.
what? No?
No.
What?
What?
Are you poo-pooing our run around the NBA segment?
The Buzz.
All right. We tried to do it as fast as we could. I just wanted to catch people up. I think
gotcha.
some of this stuff has some value, but seeing, I mean, Harden moving, AD moving, there's some big Anthony Simons moving. I mean, what are you going to do with stuff
again.
like that? Chris Paul actually going back to playing basketball, this time in Canada. So, hey,
maybe
I can get with
he's
that.
not going to play damn game in a Raptors uniform.
Sticking with the NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out through the All-Star break. He is going to miss at least 5 games with an abdominal strain. I don't think it's going to affect anything long-term, but not seeing Shai at the All-Star game that I'm not going to watch is not the biggest deal in my world.
The Buzz.
The AFC has now won 4 straight flag football games.
The Buzz.
The Jets are hiring Frank Reich. Did you want to talk about the flag football game?
No, I didn't know there were 4 already.
No, I don't know. It says, making their 4th consecutive victory in the event.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Frank Reich.
Frank Reich is going to be OC for the New York Jets. So after 1 year as the interim coach in Stanford, because they didn't actually want to decide on a coach. They just had him sit there as an interim coach. Here's a guy with a 41-43-1 record as a head coach in the NFL. He was famously the backup quarterback for the Bills, but he was also a backup quarterback with the Jets in 1996 during their worst season ever when they went 1-15, and he was not good enough to get on the field in that season. What a triumphant return to the Jets.
The Buzz.
The Steelers are hiring Brian Angelicchio. As the OC. He was the passing game coordinator for the vicious passing attack that was the Minnesota Vikings this last season. He is going to be reuniting with Mike McCarthy, who he worked with at the Green Bay Packers.
Gotcha.
So those are your hires. And our final story, not a ton of local stories, but this one, this guy just became a lot of people's favorite Major League Baseball player. Are you familiar with Vinny Pasquantino?
I love the name because it feels like, to me, it feels like when you say Vinny Pasquantino, you got to do it like with the dominant Canzone.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that,
and you got to do the hand gesture.
But Vinny is a beefcake. First baseman for the Kansas City Royals. His nickname is the Pasquatch. Okay? He negotiated his extension on his contract expressly to get this joke across. Now,
how much of it is lasagna?
He has already said that if you do not get the joke, just move on. So if you don't get it on the first try, we will do exactly that.
Lay it on me.
He negotiated that his salary for 2026 will be $4.20 million, and his salary for 2027 will be $6.9 million.
Nice.
I can see that he's already your favorite baseball player.
That's a real thing? He really did it?
Yes. What?
He really did that.
When have I ever lied to you?
Well, every day, but
What?
well, no, you don't.
How dare you?
No, you don't.
Yes.
But that's a real.
And if you look at the guy, he looks like a dude that would pull off that joke. He is the Pasquatch. Would the Pasquatch not come out with a $4.20 million year followed by a 6.9? You're checking it?
No.
Are you fact checking my story?
No, I'm not checking it. I'm trying to find a drop.
Y'all want to buy some drugs?
There we go.
Let's walk over
living, man. Livin.
There we go.
Let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, and you tell me what we missed.
Apparently we missed a lot.
What's
Sweet
that?
Fancy Moses. Anyway, first on the fan, Mr. Anderson, Cracker Barrel,
Oh yeah.
back in the news. This
what
time,
do they got going on?
well, they're not backtracking on a logo change. The chain also had to bail out of a chain-wide remodel after customer backlash. The Wall Street Journal reporting on an internal memo that contains an edict for employees to eat at Cracker Barrel when traveling.
Wait, so what? If you work at Cracker Barrel, you have to eat at other Cracker Barrels?
That's what they say. Newsweek also reporting that, quote, alcohol no longer reimbursed unless an exception is approved in advance by senior leadership, and, quote, Cracker Barrel
you eat for free at Cracker Barrel when you travel. That is a vital piece of information.
Cracker Barrel also releasing a statement saying, quote, the policy for employees to dine at Cracker Barrel while traveling for business is not new. Also, It's not the only place that our employees may eat when on the road. As previously reported, the change was to further limit reimbursement of alcoholic beverages under the policy.
All right. Well, I can't remember ever eating at a Cracker Barrel. I think I tried once and it didn't work. I can't remember why. Maybe it was closing or something. And we walked in, they're like, we're closing, and kicked us out in the middle of Arizona somewhere. But yeah, I don't think I've ever. And if I did, I do not remember. There's one out in Beaverton, isn't there?
Not anymore.
Oh,
it's gone.
okay. Well,
He gone.
Never mind then.
Yeah, they went all Hawk Harrelson.
I don't even know where to go to a Cracker Barrel.
I think
then.
the last one I went to was in the famous awesome town of Nampa, Idaho.
Cool. So good
No, it's
news
not.
for
No, it's
anybody
not.
interested in Cracker Barrel. There might not be one anywhere near us.
Yes, and the Beaverton one is closed down. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. with Luke Anderson. Time for The Subtext. We've got the clips, but what were they really saying? Let's listen in. Let's listen in. Let's listen in. Let's listen in. Let's listen in.
I don't think we dislike it. Again, it's not anything that's ever affected us. I don't think we set out to necessarily worry about those types of things. I'm excited to be here and with this football team.
So Mike Vrabel there. He's they're underdogs. What do we
What?
Well, no, he's.
Well, I could barely hear the clip.
Yeah,
But can we just get that one? It was pretty short.
Well,
Just
somebody has to. I don't think we dislike it. Again, it's not anything that's ever affected us. I don't think we set out to necessarily worry about those types of things. I'm excited to be here and with this football team.
Yeah, I mean, that is just, it's if you're asking if you like being the underdog in that scenario, the thing about Mike Vrabel is he's not going to give you a whole ton when you're asking him questions.
No.
Unless you ask him in the right way. But if you just ask the straightforward, expected questions, an underdog is a gambling term. It has nothing to do with the way that they look at it. They look at their team and just go, hey, we made it to the Super Bowl. We ousted everybody in the AFC. They lost 2 of their 3 games in the first 2 weeks. They were 1-2 after losing to the Raiders and the Steelers, who barely squeaked in. The Raiders competing for the number 1 overall draft pick all season, and that was the only thing that they competed for. And how long would they go before they fired Pete Carroll? So if you're asking Mike Vrabel if he thinks he belongs here, shut up. Stupid question. Move on to the next one. That's what he's thinking.
Is this a must-win game?
A must-win? Yeah, I think every time we go out is a must-win game. I mean, it's kind of the attitude that I've always taken in the National Football League.
Speaking of Mike Vrabel, is the Super Bowl a must-win game?
Was that a kid asking the question?
Do you want to hear it again? It's short.
Is this a must-win game?
A must-win? Yeah, I think every time we go out is a must-win game. I mean, it's kind of the attitude that I've always taken in the National Football League.
There's no way that's a real reporter. That's somebody going, you know what you should ask?
None of these usually are.
I know.
This week.
And that is the fun thing about the Super Bowl and being a must-win game. It's one of those terms that has just been overused so much. And I tend to think that Mike Vrabel's saying that, speaking the truth, you never know when an injury is going to come up and bite you, when somebody's going to go out and have a performance of a lifetime, when the ball's going to bounce the wrong way, and you have turnovers that are not created equal every week in the NFL. Somebody can throw 4 interceptions and they all bounce off the face mask of their own wide receivers, or you can have them where you throw them directly to the opponent and they drop them. You have fumbles that bounce in very weird ways. I tend to agree that I believe that's the only way to look at it as an NFL team and an NFL head coach is every single game is must win. So that's about as truthful as you can get on another very dumb question.
He's in the Super Bowl for a reason. Can make every throw on the field. Can scramble. Can run. He's a great leader. He's going to have the offense ready to go, and it's just another challenge. We're playing the other best team in the NFL, so we're excited for it and just ready to go and go out there and have one more with the guys on Sunday.
That there be Patriots cornerback Christian Gonzalez, a former Oregon Duck, and he's extolling the virtues of Sam Darnold. And look, this is the week for basically not putting up bulletin board material.
Well, it is and it's not. I mean, and we've seen it throughout the history of this game. There's plenty of people happy to go out and put up bulletin board material. Plenty of people to go out and create a little bit of a frenzy. Some people, even unintentionally, Marshawn Lynch comes to mind almost immediately.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
100%. But I think Christian Gonzalez is looking at this and going, what do you expect me to do? Underestimate this dude? He's here for a reason, and their quarterback's playing a lot better than our quarterback in the postseason. Mm-hmm. So you can take all of the week 8 and week 12 and week 14 interceptions and fumbles and turnovers that you want. It's up to us to create those opportunities against a guy who had the talent to be a number 3 overall pick, has the perseverance to get back to being a starter in the NFL, and now is in the right situation where he's taking his team to the Super Bowl. I think there's mutual respect on both sides, and I think there's coaching staffs that are instructing their guys not to say anything dumb.
A lot of great players, great Hall of Fame players, great players, don't get to be able to be up on this stage. So for me to be able to do it at 23, it's a blessing. And, I give the glory to God, and, I'm going to take full advantage of this moment.
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
He's only 23.
Dude, he had a pretty good year, too. Didn't
you think?
Yeah, you think?
This is year 3 in the NFL.
I think it was year 3.
Years. It was year 3.
Yeah. So, look, hopefully this isn't like a Dan Marino type moment for him.
Yeah,
right?
but even if it were, that's a quarterback.
Because he's not
thing.
the quarterback.
Yeah, you can look at Drake May and be curious if this ends up being a Dan Marino type
or
situation.
Darnold.
Well, Darnold not so much. Drake May is in his second season. That was the path I believe that Dan Marino took. He went in his second year. Mm-hmm. He had a great season, and right now one of your finalists for the MVP is Drake May. So thinking that you'll get back to this position is, not always guaranteed. So if it happens with anybody and become a Dan Marino moment, I would put Drake May in that category. But for a guy like JSN, think back to this offseason. You go out and get rid of Geno Smith because he does not gel with the locker room. You go out and you get rid of DK Metcalf, who does not gel with the locker room. The passing game completely transformed based on the idea that we could bring in Sam Darnold, who will be a stabilizing force for this offense, even though he finished his season in Minnesota like wet-hot garbage. Yeah. And we're going to put all our eggs into the JSN basket. We were talking in between the break between this show and primetime. Andrew Nemec brought up this stat. The number 1 outside wide receiver when lining up on the edge was JSN this year. Last year, he was a number 1 receiver from the slot. For a guy to switch primary positions and go out there and not only lead the NFL in receiving yards, but doing it from multiple spots. You saw him last week coming out of the backfield. You see him lined up in the slot. You see him in a lot of motions in the wide receiver position. People wondered if he could be a number 1, let alone being the number 1 in the league. And he has proven how valuable he is. So I would be very surprised if he doesn't have more opportunities. But the funny thing is, he says something in there. Hall of Fame players get up here and legends get up here or whatever. The Super Bowl might be decided by somebody that you do not expect, because it oftentimes is. And not usually, but I'll say often enough. And there's going to be somebody that's going to have an opportunity to make a big play in this game that will change the fortune of both of these franchises.
It makes those decisions, on tough downs when you're 3rd and longer, or, 3rd and medium, and you're kind of in the red zone, maybe on the fringe, and you got a big 3rd down, and, I might scramble out. It makes making those decisions a lot easier. Like, I never feel like I have to force the football ever, and I feel like that's such a great feeling as a quarterback. There's a lot of security there as a quarterback to be able to play with a great defense and great special teams the way that we have all year.
So, look, how comfortable are we heading into this Super Bowl with are we going to get the full Sam Darnold experience? Is that what we're afraid of?
No, I'm not really worried about that. I think this game hinges on the left side of New England's offensive line. I think if you are able to shore up, which you have not really been able to do in the postseason. Now, New England has played in horrendous conditions in all 3 of the games, the worst being the second half of the game in Denver.
The snow globe.
You've got 2 rookies on the left side of that offensive line who have given up more sacks than anybody in the postseason. There have been strip sacks. There have been opportunities for Drake May to get out and run when he has to run, and there has been opportunities where they have designed runs for him. Can you use Drake May's legs to get him out of trouble? Or, even better, if you're New England, can you figure out how to stop this 4-man rush from Seattle with your guys especially on his blind side, because that's been their biggest weakness. If Seattle can get home and make it difficult for Drake May, I don't think it matters what Sam Darnold does necessarily. If you can just be as disruptive as you've been at times during this season, I don't think you need to score 30 points to win this game as Seattle, which means you're probably handing the ball off a lot to Kenneth Walker. It means you're probably just playing safe in the passing game. I would expect that special teams will play a part of this. You've got an all-pro punter. You've got an all-pro punt returner. You've got an all-pro kick returner, same guy, Rashid Shaheed. And the special teams have been great for Seattle all year. The defense has been exceptional. The defensive line has been probably the best part of it, even though they might have the best secondary in the NFL. I think if you can get after Drake May, especially with a 4-man rush, disguise coverages, make it difficult for a second year, first full season as a starter, you make it difficult for him, I don't think Sam Darnold ends up being the big deciding factor in this. Now, if New England can prevent all those things that I just said, then it's going to come down to Sam Darnold. But I don't think he goes into this game with a ton of nerves thinking that the game hinges on my performance. He has the ability to let the game come to him, and if he has to make big plays, we saw it in the NFC Championship game. He was able to do it. We saw it against the 49ers, what it looked like when he didn't have to press, and we saw what happened when they held on to a small lead in Week 18 against the 49ers. So the last 3 games that he's played have been his best all year, and they've been getting better. He outdueled Matthew Stafford, who will probably win the MVP. If Matthew Stafford doesn't win it, he's going against the other MVP candidate, and I think he has the ability to outduel him a lot easier than the Stafford game, where that defense had been kind of beaten up by Matthew Stafford. He knew what to expect. Drake May doesn't know what to expect from this defense. Yeah.
Well, and we'll see how Drake May's shoulder is.
I cannot wait for this freaking football game. I'm going to watch some Lindsey Vonn skiing, and then I'm watching the Super Bowl, and I'm going to eat way too much food and drink the perfect amount of beer. It's going to be fantastic. Right now, we need to get to something we call One More for the Road. We do it next. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
Relax, hot shots.
Welcome back to the Fan Happy Hour. We're about to wrap things up.
Maybe you guys like what I have so far?
Wicked woman, cool creams and misters. You gotta go spell on me.
Let's grab one more for the road.
Come on, everybody. Everything's smooth.
Here's Luke Anderson.
Speaking of the road, Isaac and Souk are hitting the road for a souped-up show on Friday. Join us for the Tilmore Dew Football Festival from 3 to 7 at Kells Brewery on 21st in Northwest Portland. This Friday, February 6th, get ready for Sunday's big game with primetime at Kells on 21st. Tilmore Dew will be giving away all kinds of things throughout the show, including tickets to Portland's biggest St. Patrick's Day celebration, the Smoker and Irish Fest. Join us from 3 to 7 for the Tullamore Dew Football Fest at Kells on 21st. Mr. Rust, what are the people saying on the YouTube chat and the text toy?
We got one here on the text line. 13-year-old Babe Ruth season, first year with metal spikes. Kid slid into third, and his top spike got stuck in my knee, and I ended up needing 6 stitches right on top of my knee.
You guys are doing this the wrong way. I need you inflicting pain on others. I've got 16 stitches in my left wrist from metal spikes in American Legion on my 16th birthday. I've been injured a ton. I want to know that feeling when you bite someone's ear off. Is anybody listening to me? You do this, Jeff Rust. The listeners are doing it. See, you screwed everybody up. When have you inflicted pain on others? When have you been standing over a guy that looks like a corpse and you're going, oh, man, didn't mean to do that?
Here we go. So this is Rye Bread on the YouTube. Broke my sister's collarbone.
There you go.
Giving her a choke slam and dislocated my wife's kneecap, tackling her.
Yeah, see, now we're talking. See, my brother Frank, we played this little game we used to call night football because it was at night and it was dark. And you couldn't actually see the ball. We had no lights to do it. So we would just basically run into each other carrying a football. And Frank is going to be tackled by my brother Mark. So he lowers his shoulder and runs right through him. And that resulted in Mark's tooth going through Frank's forehead. He runs to the end zone, spikes the football, goes to the hospital, gets stitches, and then Mark has a dark tooth the rest of his life. That is double inflicting pain. I wasn't involved, so it doesn't count, but I need to know when you guys crushed each other. It's, Mark was also the one that moved the glove out of Frank's way when it broke his nose, catching baseballs, playing 500. We did it to each other all the time. I didn't inflict the most pain because I was the youngest. But I just want to know what that feeling is. Imagine being Jennifer Gardner, biting off the stuntman's ear. That's what I need to know about. Anyways, anything?
We got more, but we're getting there.
Pin some of them and we can use them tomorrow if we must. This is a sad one more for the road. The Washington Post has eliminated its standalone sports department as part of mass layoffs affecting 1/3 of their staff. The timing, not great, Bob. They currently have reporters out covering both the Super Bowl and the Olympics. Can you imagine being in Milan or in Santa Clara? You left your little home in D.C. and you went out to cover things for the Washington Post. What a great job. Well, not totally unexpected, but they go, hey, might not want to use that company card while you're out there. You don't have a job when you get back. And how you're getting back, I couldn't tell you, but good luck.
It does somewhat locally affect some people here. Ben Golliver, formerly of Blazers Edge, and a noted Beaverton High School alumnus is part of that layoff.
It's the ever-changing media landscape.
But he will not be out of the job for.
I wouldn't expect. There's probably some great people there, and they'll find a place to land. A big thank you to you, Mr. Rust. Thank you to everyone that listened. And as always, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.
And that's the final word.